the media. So, in front are LTFRB Chairman Martin III and Assistant Secretary Mark Leon from DOT or Land Transport and Infrastructure. So, the floor is now open for your questions. So just kindly raise your hand kung sino sa inyo may tanong, and I will give them the mic. Okay, sir.
Okay, let's start with the land bank proposal. There's approval for a 1 billion allocation lending facility for electric jeepneys, which is laudable, no? But based on the computations, it will only fund 650 units. So, what will happen to the rest of the 225,000 based on the figure declared by the biggest, no? So if you say 650 units a year, it will take you 364 years or convert mo to electric. So what is important under the law, kailangan maging leader compliant na. So there should be other programs apart from that. No? So kung yun na ano.
I did make special mention earlier about the strong initiative of the Land Bank of the Philippines regarding the pilot implementation of the PUV Modernization program. Bias sila sa, initially they have a 1 billion peso fund to initially fund the project and start it up. But as you can see, not only is Land Bank the one here supporting us, but also DBP, the two main government financial institutions. On top of that, there have already been a number of talks with private banks to support the PUV modernization. And I think they're just waiting on the wings to see how Land Bank and DBP will work it out so far as the financing package is concerned. As I've said, it is an initial fund. So obviously, as we move forward, there will be additional funding. And we appreciate the presence of both the DOF, represented by USEC Carl Chua, as well as DBM, represented by Secretary Ben Jokdo earlier today. So with that in mind, as mentioned also in one of the slides, we are also anticipating additional funding from the tax reform program that will be hopefully finalized this year, because a large component of that would be in support of the PUV modernization program.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, last follow-up question.
Because there's some sectors, they're saying if they can, let's say, although the options are open, that solar, alternate fuel. If let's say they can fix their body according to, customize according to your requirements, the DOTR requirements, as well as they can reduce emissions by even 99%, almost as much as equivalent to the electric in terms of emission reduction. Can they qualify? Because that would be an alternative cheaper. Because at the 1.6 million peso for electric jeepney, that would end up for a 5-year to payment financing. That would be 1,000 plus amortization easily, no? Kung 3 years, that's the normal, abot ng 1.7. More than ng binabayad na sa boundary and baka there will be some
What is
resistance.
so unique about this transformational PUV modernization program that we put in place is the fact that government financial backing is behind us here. I would not want to discuss how attempts in the past have been made, but obviously a key factor here is the financing package. And the way to move forward here, as we have seen it in all of our technical working group meetings, is precisely to address those issues that we have raised. And then there are three key elements here. Pagdating sa mga pangutang, yun talaga tatlo yan. Una, yung equity. Pangalawa, ay equity, yung down payment. Pangalawa, yung interest rate. Pangatlo, yung repayment period mo. as we already have consulted the bus operators, bus operators ito. Sinasabi nila na yung equity nila that they have to put down to borrow from the bank, the bank would require 20 to 30% equity. Pero dito naman sa PUV Modernization Program, more particularly the EC, financing credit facility that Land Bank has put up, yung equity that they would allow is between as low as 5 to 6%. Ganun kababa drastically ganun kababa. Yung sa interest rate naman ang sinasabi ng mga ibang mga operator na umuutang sa bangko, umaabot daw sa mga 6 to 10%. Now we're looking at 5% as interest rate for affected PUJ operators. Yung pangatlo yung repayment scheme, ang sinasabi ng mga bus operators, umaabot daw ng mga 3 up to 5 years ang repayment nila. Ang sinasabi naman din namin, pwede nating palawakan pa, no? Between 5 to 7 years. Having said that, alam natin na yung prangkisa is only good for 5 years. Kaya we are reviewing the policy on the life of the franchise in relation to the life of their loan obligation kung sakasakaling uutang sila sa bangko. So ganun we're actually bending backwards so that we'll be able to accommodate the needs of those affected PUJ operators.
Next question.
I'm Elvira Medina. I'm the Assistant Secretary for the Office of Commuter Affairs. I'd like to ask Mike, where did you get the 1.8 per unit that you are talking about?
You divide 1.6 million by, let's say, 3 years, but by 12 months, but by...
Where is the bottom line? Where is that 1.6? Where does it come from?
That came out in the media releases. It's about...
Because according to...
Because there was a press conference held sila Dominguez, and when they announced the 1 billion peso facility, Land Bank, which will accommodate 650 units. So if you just divide the 1.6 million,
It's a working figure.
yeah, it's a working figure.
Okay, but there are... what you're talking about is only the electric vehicles.
Yeah, that's electric,
There are
yeah.
other
Yeah, of course.
forms that are acceptable and would pass the requirements of the department. But I have been talking also with manufacturers, the local manufacturers and assemblers. They can make and produce units that's much, even 50% lower than that. Plus, I hope you are aware this afternoon, it was already mentioned that there will be manufacturing plants that the government is already thinking about putting so that they can invigorate the manufacturers and assemblers in the country. Right now, there are other facilities. There is a bank facility that requires no profit, and that is the Islamic Bank. There is a possibility that the government might look towards that direction because there is a facility that calls, in Islam, it is prohibited to get interest. So we might be able to look towards that direction. Okay? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Next question.
Sir, kasi essentially with the signing of the OFG, na-lift na yung 14-year moratorium, tama ko ba? So what happens next from the signing of the OFG? Pwede na ba uli mag-apply for the franchises? And dun po sa mga cooperatives na inaay natin ng i-form ng mga public transport sectors natin, meron po bang limit na siniset ang LTFRB na dapat ito lang yung number of cooperatives na nag-ooperate in a certain area para hindi tayo gugulo lalo?
There are two aspects of your question. Yung una muna is as regards yung lifting of the moratorium. Essentially, the moratorium is already lifted. No? But how we're going to lift it is what we have emphasized during our presentation earlier, which is we're going to work closely with the LGUs, the local government units, so that the LGUs will now come up with their local public transport route plan. I would like to emphasize the word route plan. Ibig sabihin mga specific routes. Specific routes. Ibig sabihin, merong mga rota na tatahakin ng mga pampublikong sasakyan. So therefore, we're looking also at another aspect of the public utility vehicles which do not take fixed routes. I'm referring to taxi, mga TFVS, pati na rin yung mga tourist transport. We are also reviewing that. Okay, as regards adequacy or sufficiency in numbers insofar as these modes of public transport is concerned. But insofar as fixed routes are concerned, we are going to work closely with the LGU. I just talked to Mayor Pamintuan on his way out. If you recall, during our last regional consultation in Angeles, Pampanga, we were told that they already are ready to run their local route plan. So, ang hinihintay na lang natin dito is we're going to sit down with them so that titingnan natin whether their local route plan is actually at sync with the requirements that we have set insofar as public route planning is concerned. So, yun yung pagdating doon sa paglilift ng moratorium. Ibig sabihin, magbibigay kami ng prangkisa on the basis of the local public transport route plan. Ano nga yung pangalawa?
Yung sa cooperative, sir. Cooperative, kung meron tayong limit. And kung meron din, sir, na parang startup capital ba?
For cooperatives, as you can see, we're biased with to address industry consolidation. We already have the ready mechanism by which we'll be able to address that, and that would be through the transport cooperative under the Office of Transport Cooperative. Andyan na yung mekanismo na yan, so we will just work closely with them insofar as encouraging them, pushing them to get these independent, individual PUV, taxi operators, UV operators na maghumpong-humpong, magkakaisa into one big transport cooperative, enough to get the numbers so that we would be able to address the requirement of industry consolidation. By the way, the department order sets the policy on industry consolidation. As to the number himay-himayin yan dun sa memorandum circular na ipapalabas ng LTFRB.